As we all know, we are now in the information age. With the advent of computers and the internet, our economy is changing from an industrial one to an informational one. The ability to identify, solve, and communicate complex concepts is increasingly important for youth today for generating and accessing wealth, power, and knowledge according to a socio-economic analysis by Castells. The importance of access to and use of technologies is critical in education. Home access allows a degree of flexibility and autonomy difficult to replicate elsewhere. The most recent study done by the NTIA reported the largest factors that constrain access to computer with internet capabilities are due to both parental income and education disparities. 95.5% of households with income above $150,000 per year had home access to internet-connected computers. However, it was found that only 24.6% of households living below poverty levels had the same access. Unfortunately, disparities between students regarding parental income already exist, and this differential access to new media can further amplify the already too large educational inequities. The other largest constraint in access is the disparity between parental education. 84.1% of households with parental education of at least a bachelor's degree had computers with internet capabilities, compared to only 18.5% of homes with parents having only a high school diploma. While income and education provide the largest disparities in access, disparities in race and ethnicity also exist. However, some good news is that 70.3% of households with children under 18 years of age do have access to computers and the internet. Access to broadband allows for a much richer internet experience than those with dial-up service. Broadband users have the capabilities to develop and distribute sophisticated multimedia content, while dial-up service basically supports browsing, yet even browsing is slow, especially when loading media-rich websites. Even at home, the ratio of students per computer becomes an issue. If using dial-up, tying up the telephone lines become problematic. Even when using broadband, creating and distributing sophisticated media takes time. Computer mastery depends heavily on social support from both peers and family members, and low income and education levels affect the computer experience of the student. Gaps in internet-capable computers between high and low SES schools are diminishing due in large part to government funding. Unfortunately, this does not mean students have the same type of access. In schools, the issues are socio-technical factors that deal with how computers are used. These socio-technical factors heighten educational inequity. High SES schools invest more in professional development, which encourages more widespread teacher use of new technologies. Low SES schools do not achieve this success. Due to a less stable teaching environment overall and challenges in the instructional environment as well, teachers in low SES schools are less confident in using technology in their classrooms. Online practices of youth are divided into two primary categories: friendship-driven and interest-driven. Friendship-driven practices are mostly social and include chatting, uploading, downloading, and discussion, mostly with real-life friends. The majority of youth do not move beyond these activities. However, some seek more interest-driven activities. In addition to friendship-driven activities, these youth are more creative and adventurous, which results in a deeper and more sophisticated engagement with media. Messing around includes focusing on the workings and content of the technology and media, and they tinker, explore, and extend their understanding through searching for information online and experiment with media production. The next stage is called geeking out, in which youth become committed and engaged with media or technology and participate on a more sophisticated level of technology use by creating, developing, and publishing. In-school use of technologies varies greatly depending on the SES status of the school. High SES schools use constructive approaches and focus on higher-order thinking skills, whereas low SES schools focus their technology use on low-level thinking skills, using technology mostly for drill and practice. Unfortunately, this type of technology use has a negative effect on learning outcomes. There is persuasive evidence that home access rather than school access to computers raises standard academic outcomes such as grades, test scores, and graduation rates. One argument toward this line of thinking is that at home people are more able to make computers part of their personal space and tailor them to their needs. When controlling for students' individual family characteristics, including income, race, and parent education, students with access to home computers are 6 to 8 percentage points more likely to graduate from high school. They also have an increased GPA of 0.22 points and have a 3 to 5% higher test result scores. Regular and flexible access is required to facilitate the development of advanced knowledge production skills. The easiest way to do this is through one-to-one laptop programs at school. The program addresses issues related to school access, home access, and school-home connections. Laptop prices are falling and free open source software is growing. Additionally, new teachers have substantial computer experience. All these things together can result in improved use of computers. One caveat, of course, is the need for universal broadband access. Teaching and learning in schools need to be transformed. Technology programs in schools need to have clear and well-designed learning and literacy objectives. Schools also need to broaden their emphasis to include 21st century skills, including expert thinking and complex communication. As of now, testing focuses on the achievement of basic skills. Unfortunately, without reform, teachers and administrators in public schools, especially in low SES schools, are unlikely to focus on higher order thinking skills due to the pressure of test scores.